everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If we are meeting for the first time, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Anka, I'm the content creator behind Gracefully Glam, and we're also Life with Gracefully Glam over on Instagram. Today we are in the kitchen and I'm so excited to share with you a handful of items all from Amazon that I have in my kitchen. And I love to choose items that, are a look for less. So all of these items look like they're a lot more expensive. The quality is amazing, but at a really nice, affordable price. And of course, they have to be aesthetically pleasing to the eye because they are, for the most part, out in the open in your kitchen. Now, right behind me, I have sweet potato rounds. I'm actually making nachos, but with sweet potatoes. And the reason why I have these here is because I'm gonna share with you a couple items that I'm gonna be using to prep those, like my new olive oil dispenser, my salt and pepper grinder. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, the first item is this beautiful, I call it olive oil dispenser because that is the oil that we use the most of in our kitchen. But of course you can use it for whatever oil you want. So I'm going to use it for olive oil. And again, I love how pretty it is. It's so aesthetic. The bottle is gorgeous. And it's going to be really easy to fill up as well. You aren't gonna need a funnel or anything, just your olive oil bottle. And then of course, I'm going to be very careful. Normally I would probably do this over a sink, but you know what? Because the opening is quite large, I think I'm going to be okay. Just make sure that you guys can see that. I'm excited to use this. Honestly, did I need another olive oil dispenser? No, but I just thought this is so pretty and it kind of matches the rest of the things that I have going on in my kitchen. So I thought, why the heck not? And I'll pop the lid back on. I can't remember, this might come in other color options too, but I really like the white. And then you just open up the top and it's just a really nice pouring spout. I'm gonna drizzle some olive oil on these rounds. Oh, I love the way that pours out. So nice. And then I'm gonna do some salt and pepper, and that brings me to my next item, which is the most beautiful salt and pepper grinder set. So I'm gonna grab it right now. Have you seen a prettier salt and pepper grinder set? This one's a little bit on the pricier side for a salt and pepper grinder set, but I just couldn't resist. And it's one of those items that you can have in your kitchen for as long as you want, years and years to come. And I love that it is rechargeable. So the base is rechargeable, and when you place them on, back on, they will charge. And they also have a light and they're automatic. And of course they have those little windows so you can see which is the salt and which is the pepper. So I'm going to press on this button. Let me just lift up the sweet potatoes again so you can see. And the button is just at the top here. Isn't that so neat? And I don't know if you guys can see through the camera, but that light turns on when you press the button. Okay, that is good for the salt. Gonna go in with the pepper. And honestly, there's just nothing like freshly ground salt and freshly ground pepper. I'm gonna do the same. Okay, that is ready to go into the oven, and then I'll put all of my toppings. By the way, this recipe I just found on Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have all of the items, all the ingredients, which I honestly never do. Anytime I find a really yummy recipe, I almost all the time have to go and grab at least one thing from the grocery store. I have the ground beef already made from yesterday, and I have the cheese and the veggies. So I'm gonna put this in the oven first, get them all nice and cooked, and then you put all of your toppings on. I will actually link the recipe that I'm using in the description box below, just in case you guys want to make it as well. Okay, so I'm gonna put that to the side and pop that in the oven. That is the salt and pepper grinder set. It is such a beautiful gift idea as well. And they come in so many different color options too. While we're on the topic of salt, I also wanted to share my gorgeous marble salt cellar. It is so cute, again, very pretty, very aesthetic. And I use this for Celtic salt. salt. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Celtic salt, or maybe you have, but it has so many incredible health benefits. And I like to use Celtic salt in my water. And so I'll just do a tiny little bit in my lemon water first thing in the morning, and then I'll also use it throughout the day. I just like to put it in my like Stanley tumbler. It helps a lot with replenishing electrolytes and with hydration as well. And then of course you can use it for cooking too. So for the salt and pepper grinder set that I showed you earlier, I just use like the regular salt, and then I use this little guy for my Celtic salt. Of course, you can use this for whatever salt you want. And then I just have it sitting there with the rest of, you know, my stovetop essentials. And then next up, I'm going to show you that knife set that you see in the back. It is so pretty, so aesthetic, and super functional as well. So when I first bought this, I thought for sure the knives wouldn't be like super sharp, they wouldn't work really well, because I'm like, it's just such a pretty design. It's just really nice to look at, and I honestly didn't know if it was going to be as good as, you know, my other knife set, just because it's very pretty, it's very aesthetic, and I was like, maybe, you know, that's kind of it, but no, the knives are so sharp, they work so well. This also comes with a kitchen scissor, with let me try that again. With the kitchen scissors, which is amazing because we all need a kitchen scissors. You know, not the one, I'm not talking about the one that you store in like your junk drawer, one that you use for food. I don't know if anyone else does this, but when I'm making noodles, any type of noodles, I like to cut mine because they're just usually too long and I don't like fighting with them. But again, very pretty, very aesthetic. This would also make such a nice gift idea if you're going to someone's house for the first time, a housewarming gift, you know, a shower gift, a wedding gift. You can do one of these. It comes in a beautiful box, and then even maybe the salt and pepper grinder set, that duo together would be such a good gift for someone just starting out, or, you know, getting married and starting to put together their kitchen. I'm going to pop up a video next to me just to show you guys how I use these. These are the Super Cubes, and if you know me at all, or if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I have an obsession with them. I bought 2 of their original blue ones, and then I got this set. This is like a really fun confetti sprinkle set. It comes with a blue and a pink. These are incredible. This was a brand that was on Shark Tank many years ago, and they have a nearly 5-star, like a perfect 5-star review out of thousands of reviews on Amazon, and for, you know, a good reason. So the lid is super durable. It is plastic, but it's very strong, so you're never gonna have a problem with it. Of course, this does not go in the oven. You can put this in the freezer, it does not go in the oven. This part here, the silicone, it's 100% BPA free. It's a food grade silicone, and then there's 2 lines, one for a half cup and one for a full cup. I always use the full cup, and these are the best for meal prep. If you meal prep like myself, or maybe you're wanting to get into it, I owe all the success that I've had so far in my weight loss journey to meal prepping, truly. And so these have been such a staple in my everyday routine, because I like to make stews and chilies and broths. I've been really getting into bone broths. You can use this for so many things. Pop it in the freezer, and then it's so easy to take out one every morning as needed. Whether you're heating it up at home and bringing it to work, or putting it in a casserole or like a takeaway, you know, dish and heating it up at work, it's so nice. It's super easy. And if you only buy 1 or 2, what you can do is you can fill them up, pop them in the freezer, take them out and put them in like a freezer safe bag, and then reuse these again and again. That way you don't have to wait for all of them to be done. You can, you know, keep using it. But I just can't recommend these enough. They're amazing, and I love the family behind this brand. Also, you can use these in the oven. They are 100% oven safe. Sometimes I like to use these as like a loaf pan, so I'll make like mini banana loaves. I love baking. So yeah, you can use these for the oven, you can use them for the freezer, but they are amazing, and they'll last you so long. I've had mine for I feel like it's going on like 4 years now, and they still look brand new. They are amazing. Seriously, grab one. I do not think you'll be disappointed. If you are a cereal household, let me share these cereal dispensers with you. You can also use them for other dry foods as well, not just cereal. There's just something about cereal in the evening. I don't know, it's just such a comfort food. I hardly ever have cereal for breakfast anymore, but I have 3 of these because I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and when they come over, one of the most requested food items is cereal. And so Auntie always has a few on hand. And so I love these because they're super easy to take the lid off and refill. But the lid is also a measuring cup too. So if you are someone that just wants to make sure they have half a cup or 1 full cup, you can use the lid to measure out your cereal, put it in the bowl, and then pop the lid back on. So super helpful. I also love the design of them because they don't take up a lot of space. So I don't have a huge pantry. I have kind of like a built-in one just behind me there. And so it's really nice that it doesn't take up a lot of space, and I can store 3 where normally I would only be able to store 1 for the same amount of space. Coming back to meal prep, again, I will pop a video up over here. So these are called overnight oat jars, but you can use them for so many things. I love to use them for overnight oats. I love to use them for chia seed pudding, yogurt parfaits. Sometimes I'll use them for salads. Sometimes I will have like this craving for like a quinoa salad, and these are perfect for those. I love that these are glass. So at the beginning of last year, my husband and I slowly started replacing items in our home that were plastic with glass. And it's definitely not something that you can do overnight. And so we're just kind of slowly doing it. I think there's a few areas in our home that we need to replace. But the lid is plastic. However, the area that you're eating out of is 100% glass. I also love that it has this divided container on the top so you can use it for toppings. That way it stays separate until you're ready to enjoy and it doesn't get soggy. The jar is a really nice size. So in the video, I'm making a yogurt parfait with berries and then some toppings. And I love that it has a lid and it's nice and secure in there. I also really appreciate that it is stainless steel as opposed to plastic. So when I used to work my corporate job, I would meal prep all the time. There was every so often I would get, lunch or breakfast out. However, I always went through the drive-thru and got my coffee. And there have been so many times where I'd be like, can I get a fork or a spoon? Because I would have forgotten my utensils at home, and I worked a lot from my car, so it wasn't like I was able to grab a spoon or a fork from, my office all the time. So anyway, absolutely love these, 100% recommend, and they come in a pack of 2. I've been sharing my healthy lifestyle journey over on Instagram, and I love sharing all of the different recipes that I find and I make. It's just such a passion of mine. And so basically, I have a sweet tooth, a major sweet tooth. So I'm often looking for healthy alternatives to like my favorite treats. And I mean, there are so many out there. I have a Pinterest board on like just sweets and healthy, alternatives. And there's a few different donut recipes on there. Now, I love donuts. I feel like I was born loving donuts. And so I bought this donut mold. I love that it's non-stick. I do spray it. I just have one of those olive oil sprays. I spray the inside, and once it comes out of the oven, I let them sit for 10 to 15 minutes. I just find that the donuts just come out so much easier without them like breaking or crumbling. There are so many delicious donuts, and maybe, you have a family favorite that you want to use for, a picnic or a birthday. This is such a good pan. I mean, it's not like rocket science or anything. I just wanted to share it because it's a really good one. I had one a couple years ago, and I don't know what the pan exactly was made out of, but I feel like every time the donuts came out, I had such a hard time removing them, and it was not fun at all. It's always so much better when they come out, perfect, and then you can let them cool and glaze them. Oh my gosh, I want a donut now. But anyway, this is my donut pan. I used it several times already, and I actually have plans to make some donuts tomorrow. So I'll let you know how that turns out. This is a cheese-loving household. I don't know about you. We love cheese. All kinds of cheese. Okay, wait, I will say, my husband is okay with blue cheese. I'm not a fan, but literally anything else. And so we have a couple different cheese graters. A few years ago, we decided to stop buying shredded cheese, and instead we buy the block ones. And there's a couple reasons for that. Back then, we stopped mostly because it's really expensive, and you can actually get way more for your money by buying the block cheese. So quick little story, I come from a family of 10. I have 9 siblings, and my mom rarely, I can't remember if she's ever bought in grated cheese, pre-done. And so when she came back from the grocery store, we all had to take turns shredding the block cheese. Now, we didn't have one of these fancy cheese graters back then. It was one of the traditional old-fashioned ones. And so it was definitely a chore. None of us liked to do it. Now fast forward to today, these cheese graters make it so much easier. I love this one for specialty cheeses. It works so well. This is like a restaurant style. Every time I use it, it reminds me of Olive Garden. And when they come to your plate and they're like, tell me when to stop. And you're like, just leave it. Why would I tell you to stop? Right? But anyway, it is such a good one. Again, I'll pop a video up here just so you can see it in motion, but it just glides, and it is such a good one, and it really is super quick. So it's not a chore. It's not like way back when your mom asked you to grate the cheese on those old-fashioned ones. These ones are so much better, and they're really easy to clean. I always say make sure you wash it right away. Don't give the cheese a chance to sit and get hard on the inside. Just wash it right away and you'll have no problems. The last item I'm going to share with you for this video are these mixing spoons. And again, I'll pop up a video right over here so you can see how they work. The quality on them are phenomenal. And one is a little bit more deep. So it's kind of like a ladle, but I love how they sit on the side of your pot or pan. And so you're not making any mess. And they're just so helpful. It's just one of those gadgets that you actually will use. I know we all have so many gadgets. In fact, I just cleaned up. I did like a big deep clean in my kitchen, and I got rid of, I wouldn't say so many things, but definitely a few items that I just wasn't using. These I use all the time, and they're like a really durable silicone, so they're very easy to clean. Now, I can't remember if the description says anything about popping them in the dishwasher. They might be dishwasher safe, but honestly, because of the material, they're so easy to clean. And so I just wash them. I do a little soap and water, and anything that I have, whether it's cheese or pasta, sauce or whatever, it just comes right off. So highly recommend this set. All of the products that I shared in today's video are linked in the description box below and in the first comment. And I would love to hear suggestions from you for future videos. I know we're just starting out with YouTube, but I'm having so much fun, and I just can't wait to show you more. And I have a lot of ideas myself, but of course I want to make sure that I am also taking suggestions from you guys, because I want to share what you want to see as well. So feel free to pop those in the comments, and I will absolutely take a look and reply. But thank you for tuning in and watching today's video. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.